last Tuesday.
Sunny Digital. Got the club going up on the Tuesday.
The big news.
News? What news?
Sorry.
What?
All right, Lee. But this is beyond news. This is like Pearl Harbor or the Kennedy assassination. It's like not even news, it's total shock.
Oh, come on, Jerry, please, 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 please.
Hello and welcome to the second article for April 9th, Tuesday Newsday. The learning goal should look familiar. Is to determine two or more central ideas of a text and analyze their development over the course of that text, including how they build on and interact with one another. The scale should look familiar as well. A 4 means you can identify the central idea or ideas, the evidence that the author uses to prove his or her point, and how the ideas build on one another. If you're at a 3, it means you can identify the central ideas and the evidence that the author uses to prove his or her point, but you're missing sort of how those ideas build on one another. A 2 means you can identify the central ideas, but you're not really showing evidence as to why or how. A 1 means that you are unsure of how to find the central idea. And in order to receive 1.5 units for today's class, you must highlight or underline the main idea, circle the evidence that the author uses to prove his or her point, and put a box around any other central ideas in the text. The 4 skills that we are going to work with are the same 4 that we work with weekly. The first is to identify the topic, which of course is different than the main idea. To summarize the story in 10 to 12 words, if you can do that, I think you're starting to get to that main idea. The first and last sentence of each article are important, mostly because the author will intro the main idea with the first sentence and provide a recap with the last. Repetition. Those repeated ideas are important. If an author is going to repeat something multiple times, they oftentimes think that it is important and essential to the main idea. Today's article is titled "Free College for All is a Popular Rally Cry, but is it realistic?" It was written on the 25th of March for stateline.org, and it begins this way. Since 2014, Tennessee has promised free community college for young people. They simply must enroll full-time, do 8 hours of community service a semester, and earn a C average. Julius Dancy's parents could not afford to send him to a 4-year college. His high school grades were not great, so he didn't qualify for scholarships. However, 18-year-old Dancy is lucky enough to live in Tennessee. He is now at his first year at Southwest Tennessee Community College in Memphis. The state's tuition-free college program has made college possible for him, he said. At least 15 states now cover 2 or 4-year college tuition for some students. Lawmakers in 23 states are floating free college bills this year. Several Democratic presidential candidates want not only to make college tuition free, but also eliminate student loan debt. Free college tuition is not as easy as it sounds. Policymakers across the country are sparring over who should get aid and how much. Democrats and Republicans disagree with how to approach it. Many people want to expand free college to more students and cover more than tuition. While Democrats tend to support the idea of free college, it is still complicated. Some are worried that program dollars flow to wealthier students and don't account for expenses such as textbooks, course fees, and transportation. Meanwhile, Republicans worry that universal free college programs fail to prepare students for jobs. Some also warn against creating expensive new government programs. In Michigan, Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer made an appeal to make community college tuition free. It was not received well by the Republican-led legislature there. Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey said he is not sure that the high cost of college is the problem. He thinks it's important to ensure that college degrees pay off for students and lead to jobs and make money. Whitmer's goal is to ensure that 60% of Michigan adults have a college degree by 2030, Shirkey said. It's pretty much meaningless. Free college programs date back decades. They began to multiply in the years after the Great Recession ended, around 2011. The Great Recession was a time when many people lost their jobs. College debt soared in the years that followed. Forecasters predicted that most future jobs would require advanced training. The Tennessee Promise attracted a lot of attention and inspired many copycat programs. The grant for recent high school graduates covers any community college tuition and mandatory fee dollars not already covered by other grants or scholarships. In 2015, the first year of the program, community colleges enrolled almost 1/4 more recent high school graduates. Enrollment has also jumped in other states with similar programs. Rhode Island's Promise program began in 2017. That year, the number of recent high school graduates who enrolled in community college more than doubled. The free college concept has become popular, particularly within the Democratic Party. Some states, such as California, have even rebranded existing financial aid programs to include the word promise. Paying for free college has been a challenge. Budget limitations this year could stop proposals to expand free college in Oregon and New Jersey. Some Republicans argue that free college programs pass along increasingly high costs to taxpayers. Mary Claire Amsalem works at the Heritage Foundation, a nonprofit research group based in Washington, D.C. She thinks the programs share an underlying problem. They do not do anything about the fact that tuition prices keep going up, she says. She also questioned the push to encourage students to attend community college. Many have poor graduation rates. 24% of first-time students graduate from public 2-year colleges in 3 years. Meanwhile, 60% of first-time students graduate from public 4-year programs in 6 years, according to government statistics. Lawmakers might want to consider spending money on high school job training programs instead, Amsalem said. Some left-leaning groups have criticized free college programs for spending money on wealthier students. They also say that these fail to address costs of attendance beyond tuition. Tiffany Jones is director of higher education policy at the Education Trust, a national nonprofit focused on promoting equality in education. She analyzed the 13 free college programs active in 2017. 8, she found, used a model like Tennessee's. That meant, obviously, that there was no financial benefit for the lowest income students, she said. Some programs only offer aid to low-income students, such as Maryland's, or provide promise aid before other grants. This allows total aid to exceed tuition costs, as Oklahoma and California do. These programs promote equality by directing more aid towards students who need it most, Jones said. Media coverage of Oregon's free college program can be misleading, says Juan Baez Arevalo. He is the head of Oregon's Office of Student Access and Completion. It's not free, he said of the grant. The Oregon Promise program covers community college course tuition, but not course fees, textbooks, transportation, or room and board. The perception that free college only helps middle-class people has made some reluctant to support the policies. In New Jersey, Democratic Governor Phil Murphy is trying to target aid to the neediest students. The programs are finding other ways to support students. Chrissy D'Alejandro is executive director of TN Achieves, a privately funded nonprofit group that supports the Tennessee Promise program by, among other things, training and recruiting volunteer mentors. D'Alejandro acknowledged that more well-off students might receive more Promise money. Still, she says, lower-income students can receive more non-tuition support. For example, academic advising and coaching provided by her nonprofit are available. Dancy, the student from Memphis, said that support for the Tennessee Promise participants has helped him stay on track. He appreciates his advisors and reminder emails and texts. When his grades fell this semester, he was instantly surrounded by adults pointing him toward tutoring services and reminding him to stay focused. To me, it doesn't even feel like a scholarship, he said. It feels more like a family thing. So here we are at the worksheet. And as you know, typically I go through each of these and we talk about them, but as I loosen the reins, because it is April, I want to see where you are at. We've been doing this for a few months now. I want to see kind of where you're at with your understanding and ability to accomplish these tasks and then eventually identify the main idea of the article. I'm going to leave this blank and let you fill it out on your own. Be sure to directly quote from the article and make sure that you are thorough. As always, ciao for now.